Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. Yes, my mic was muted the first 10 seconds, apparently, but it's okay. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to get the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And I do just really love having my cup mug here handy. And you can get your cup mug at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And if you look to the right side of the screen, there is a QR code. If you scan it, it'll take you right to the link where you can get your QR code, favorite the shop, get your cup mug. We truly appreciate it. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Canada, I'm looking at you. Get your cup mugs, period. And thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that to be back talking Project Runway, episode 6. It was a good episode. I'll say that. It was a decent episode. It wasn't my favorite episode of the thus far, but it was a decent episode. It, good filler. I will say filler episode. Um, Not sure if I agree with the results, but I liked it. I like the episode, and we're gonna talk all about it. But before we do, if you would do me a strong favor, if you have watched the programs that we talk about, if you're a fan of Project Runway Canada, I can't speak. I'll slow it down a little bit. If you're a fan of Runway Canada or any Project Runway, we cover U.S. here and Canada. Um, and you just enjoy that kind of reality television or any competitive reality television. We just wrapped up Traders Canada. We're about to go into Traders UK and Traders US, and we just wrapped up Survivor 49. We're getting ready for Survivor 50 coming around the bend. If you're a fan of those type of reality shows, competitive reality shows, this is the channel for you. Please subscribe to this channel, and because we're on a mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. And guess what? The end of the year is here. We're not quite there yet, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop asking, and we're going to keep on going. And so, subscribe to this channel if you are a fan of competitive reality television, and subscribe to all of our channels at the Cup Network. If you're a fan of drag or drag race, at the Cup Pod is the place you want to be. Well, we just discussed all things drag. So go check out our channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links. So because we want to be wherever you are. So follow us on our audio podcast links. Our Patreon, join our Patreon. We got a lot of fun things going on in our Patreon. Our movie bucket is happening if you're a fan of movies, or we do our reviews on movies that we like, that maybe we hadn't seen in a while, or we really just want to talk about. And our series, Gone Too Soon, which is competitive reality shows that maybe have not stood the test of time, but probably should have. So check out our Patreon. We got a lot of fun things going on in there, and early access things that will come out later onto the channel. Our Patreon exclusive series will not come out on this channel, so you have to be in our Patreon to see those fun things. Follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow me on mine. My Instagram is scrolling down there. My Twitter or X is right there. So check it out, do the things, follow us. Yeah, so let's get into it because this episode, we start the episode out all about in a shoe museum. And I was like, I did not know we had shoe museums, but we have a shoe museum and they're in there, and they have to uh, pick a shoe, a different style shoe, and then they have to make a garment inspired by that shoe. We had I guess, the boudoir slipper kind of shoes with the fuzzy tops. We had uh, iridescent tennis shoes. We had the black and white saddle shoes. We had pink Western cowboy boots. We had 60s mod boots. We had red thigh high um, vinyl boots. Um, and then we had some Victorian looking boots. I'm trying to think, is there any more? I think that was it. Oh, yeah, that was it. That was all the boots, the shoes. So all the different types of shoes, and they had to make a look inspired by these shoes. They went to the fabric store. They had $500 to spend at the fabric store. Um, Fabric store was a little chaotic. A lot of people trying having a hard time finding their fabrics and what they were going to, use for the this inspired shoe look. It was supposed to be a high fashion look, so keep that in mind. High fashion, inspired by these shoes type of looks. And Charles was a little annoyed because he didn't get to pick his shoe. He got picked last, and he was like, "I got picked last because I'm a threat." And I was like, "Okay, possibly." Um, but he's upset. Maya is not feeling the judges happening going on. What they've been thinking about her and her, her looks. She felt like her last two looks that she showed was her favorite looks, and the judges had her in the bottom both times. Now, me personally, I agree with the judges. I wasn't a fan of her last two looks. But she loved them. And so she was really confused by why the judges felt like she should have been in the bottom. So she was a little annoyed by the judging and how it's happening. But she's not the only person annoyed by the judging, because Charles is also annoyed by the judging, because he's like, he should not, he feels like he should have won more than he should have been in the top more. He should have won more, but he doesn't like being safe, and so he's not happy with the safe of it all. Um, so yeah, there's that. Um, but we after they get back to the workroom and they start working, everybody's ideas, they have lots of ideas, so many different ideas that um, they want to put into these garments, into these looks, but they didn't, you know, they some people had a hard time, I guess, making their ideas into reality, into what they wanted. Um, it was interesting to hear these ideas. Like Curtis was like, "I'm gonna go pirate theme with this," and when you, I don't know about y'all, but when I think pirate, I'm like, but no. At first, I was like, "Oh, pirate, that's gonna be a little costumey," but then I thought about um, a promo that I saw from Drag Race Down Under, and their theme was pirate theme. And I saw some really fashionable looks as as the promo looks. I'm like, okay, but it can work if you do it correctly. Because it could go into the costumey kind of, range, but it can go into the fashion range if you do it correctly. You got to tote the line and do it correctly. And his ideas, his sketch, I was like, okay, this is an interesting, if he can pull it off, I think it'll work. Somebody else's sketch that I liked, that when they put it up, I was like, okay, I like that. It was Foster. He had a good like sketch. His sketch was a tailored suit, like kind of thing, but it was pretty to go with a pant, like a pencil pant, or a cigarette pant, to go with to go with the saddle shoe of it all. And I kind of liked his too. I liked Maya's sketch. I was like, okay, if she can pull this off, it's actually a really good, sketch. We saw Rome, and let me before I go, Maya. The problem the judges were having with Maya was that they like the idea of what she does, but the technique and the finish is not. good. It doesn't always pay off. And so that has been the problem with the judges with Maya. And in this episode, it starts to show a little bit more, but we find because she's self taught, lets us know she's self taught. And so sometimes she doesn't have the technical skills or knowledge to know how to fix problems or issues so things could look more polished and less, homemade or amateurish. But you know, she want to work. She's determined to work on it, and do nothing but appreciate that from her. Um, yeah, so it was good. I did like that. I liked her sketch. I just wanted to see it come to fruition and see if it will pay off. Um, Rome, he got the hologram tennis shoe, and he was trying to figure out if streetwear could be considered high fashion, which I say yes if you do it correctly. If you do it right, streetwear could be high fashion if done right. And so he just had to find the balance because he's a designer. And so he's kind of like, this is where you know, I live and I want to do it, but I want to make it high fashion. And he just had to figure out how to do that. Um, a lot of stuff just about the same. We see them in the workroom working. Um, Aurora comes through her walkthrough and is trying to help encourage or help them guide them in the right direction. She she talks to Maya, who of course is still having some issues. She's trying to help out with what she can, how she can get some things done, and how she she we see she's like, I see the vision. I like where this is going. I just need it to look better. I need the finishings to look better. Um, she went to Leland, and Leland was making this checker pattern because he had the red boots, the thigh high boots, and he was making this pattern with red vinyl and like black or blue vinyl. I think it's bluish vinyl. But he was making his own pattern, which I thought is creative, but it was looking a little costumey, which is easy to do when it comes to like vinyl. It could always look like a, you know, superhero, kind of. It's like spandex. Spandex can make it look like superhero. But it kind of was like that. Like, it was feeling very superhero-ish, but he was like, "No, trust me, I can make it look more fashion." Leland is someone who has worked very closely with a lot of queens in the drag community in Toronto. We've seen some of his work on Canada's Drag Race, and so I'm like, yeah, you could see it. Like, he wanted to pay homage to the drag community because he's a part of that community, and he those boots scream drag. Like, you see these boots, it screams drag queen. Love it, love the boots, but they scream drag queen, and it's kind of hard to veer away from that when you see it if that's what you do. But he was determined to make it work. So it's like some of these looks, he's like, ooh, gotta trust the process. Trust the process. Wait to the finished product. Because I feel like sometimes for me, I start judging from what I see in the workroom. And then when it comes out on the runway, it's like, oh, no, it wasn't that bad. Or, oh, it's really much better than I thought. Or that wasn't good in the work. It looked good in the workroom, but it don't look good on the runway. So I kind of try to dial back from doing that and judging the workroom, until the finished product comes out. One in particular design I just could not hold back. Kat had these pink boots, cowboy boots, and she decided she was going to make this pink cat bodysuit type deal, shorts, um, which was cute. It was tweed, and she's gonna make these tweed suits, bodysuit, and then she added these ruffles in this flower pattern because she wanted to make it Western. So she was gonna make these ruffles on the sleeves, two ruffle sleeves, and a ruffle pair of chaps to go on the bottom of these shorts. And at first, she was gonna do a mini skirt with the chaps, but then she realized that the mini skirt didn't look good with chaps, so she made shorts with the chaps, which will go better with chaps. But the chaps were made of this flower ruffle pattern, well, ruffle that she turned a pattern that she turned into like ruffles. So the sleeves had the ruffles, and then the pants had the ruffles, and it was just huge ruffle chaps that completely covered the boot, like you didn't know it was a boot. You would never know it was a boot. And she had I didn't like it from the start. Like when she picked that fabric, I was like, ooh, not a fan of the fabric. But then when she put it together, I was like, I don't know, not a fan of that either. But again, what do I know? I'm no designer. This isn't what I do. I just go by what I can see and what I like. And baby, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like it in the workroom, and I definitely didn't like it. I didn't like it in the workroom. I'll say I didn't like it in the work. Spoiler: I didn't like it on the runway either. But that's just me. I didn't like it in the workroom at all. It was just mm mm mm. But um, model fittings happen. Some people are like freaking out because time is. It was a 2 day challenge, but time was still definitely not on their side on this. So for some people it's a little easier. They just they work fast, they get through, they got time to adjust and figure things out. How does it fit? Don't like it? Okay, let's fix it. Other people they have it, they don't work, and then they freak out. Um, Foster had some time issues in the past, so he was concerned about the time issues in this challenge. Um, and it felt like everything was going well for him in the beginning, like he was on pace and he was getting it done. But once we got to the end of day two, well, shoot, runway day, it started like he started panicking about not having enough time to finish things, but make it work, and that's what he did. Um, I have is Here's my thing. I want to talk about Rome because, like I said before, he was like concerned about his streetwear not being high fashion, or trying to make streetwear high fashion, and he came up with these black pants and top. It was this very clean silhouette, streetwear looking, but the high fashion aspect he felt wasn't there. And then he needed to show off the shoe. And so he took the holographic design fabric that he got that matched the shoe and put it in the shirt and made like these triangle cutouts in the back of the shirt. It was very cool, very cute. Um, but Aurora was letting him know, like, hey, we don't have like any aspects of the shoe in the front, in the throughout the garment. It's just in that back and it's hidden. So you should do something to highlight the shoe more. And so he was trying to figure out what to do. He decided on making a vest out of um the fabric that matched the shoe. And at first he wanted to do like cut out in the pants, which I wish he would have done because I feel like that would have been a better option. But he said he didn't have time to do those cutouts, so he made the vest, and all the way down to the wire, he was trying to decide if this vest should go on or off, on or off, on or off. Um, so we'll let you see if he decided to have it on or off. If he watched it, But he decided to try to figure out if he wanted it on or off throughout the whole time. I mean, up to the last minute of prep time for the runway. It was just a lot. It was a lot. A lot of people were panicking. A lot of people who we had Maya who was trying to figure out because first she had these pearls that she had on there, and she painted them white to make them cleaner. But then you could still see the black thread, and she didn't like that, so she was trying to figure out how to do that. And Aurora suggested her the O rings, which best suggestion ever because that made the look that brought the look together in my personal opinion. If she didn't have those O-rings, mm-mm, I don't think it would have been as successful, the look itself. Um, but let's get to it. Let's get to the runway because that I should put myself back in here. But this is not what they called it, but I thought it was cute. Shoo la la is the theme for me and my theme for the runway. Um, I thought it was very cute. But let's get into the runway looks. Up first is Curtis's look. Oh, and the guest judge is the NFL designer. Mm, never heard they had that. But this is Curtis's Pirates look. And I thought this was such a cool look. This is definitely high fashion. It's cool. I like the pants, the culottes rather, with the lace up boots that he chose. Um, I thought this was such a cool look. I love the way it fits the cropped shirt, the cutouts on the shoulder to the sleeves. I thought that was so good. It's cool, it's funky, it's fresh. Curtis is definitely one of my favorites on this season. And this is another reason why, because I thought this was such a cool look. This is definitely high fashion. This is something you would see on a runway. Um, and be like, ooh, interestingly weird, but good. I thought this was such a good look from Curtis. We move on to Maya's look. And again, like I said, I think this is so good with the rings, with the O rings. I think the O rings definitely made it, um, brought the piece together. It made it so cute. That 60s mod look was so good and so fun. I wish you would have added more color into it, like the boot itself. Like, give us a little green panel. Like, make one of the panels green, like the boot, one of them yellow. Like, give us a little color like the boot. It would have been so cute. Yeah, it would have been matchy matchy, but it would have been so cute. I would have ate that up. But the O rings was the best thing that they could have done to she could have done to this look because the way it was looking before looked a little amateurish. This right here with the O rings just made it look very fashionable. So yeah, I thought this was one of her good looks. Definitely. Curtis's look was T. This look is T for sure. Foster's look with his saddle black and white saddle shoes, I liked it. I thought the tailored jacket with the red, um, in like the red going down and then the cutouts on the shoulders in red, it was perfectly tailored so well. It looked like I don't know if you could tell on this picture, but the tailoring in this jacket was so good. It was so good. Now, am I a fan of the skirt? I'm not sure. I don't know if I like it, but it's definitely fashion. It's definitely high fashion. I like the draping of it, but I'm not sure I particularly would wear it. But I don't. That doesn't mean it's not good. I do think it's tea. I think the tailoring of this jacket though is everything to me. I love the cutouts on the shoulder and how they piped it with the red fat. It was so good. I liked it. Definitely tea. Rome. This is Rome with the he decided to go with the vest. I wish he didn't. But I didn't mind the vest, to be honest. I didn't hate the vest. I kind of liked the vest, but I personally would have liked if he would have just taken that, exaggerated the sleeve on the shirt, and then gave us those cutouts that he had in the back on the pant, and then made the pant a pencil pant, a cigarette pant, um, so you can see the shoe, but like Give us something. Or or take the instead of making, if you didn't want the cutouts on the pants, put the some like graphic things in that on the pants, like a stripe or a zigzag or something to show off. Like if you would have made a cigarette pant and had that stripe, that holographic stripe going down the cigarette pant, mm, I would have thought. I think it would have showed off the shoe. It would have gave you the, the showing off the shoe, and showing the inspired shoe without the vest. I don't think the vest was horrible, but I don't think it was great. But I think he could have did something else with it. Like give us a put the make a belt out of that fabric. Put a stripe down the pant. Make the pants a pencil pants, because the wide leg pant you can't see the shoe. He had a really good shoe. If you would have made a pencil pant and like the holograph thing as like a cage skirt type deal, and because you see, he said it was a girl going to the club in the future. So if she would have had like a cage skirt in that fabric, I think it would have been so cute. I think it would have been so cute in like in a pencil pant, showing off the shoe. Like, I thought it would have been good, but I didn't mind this. I didn't think. Did it hit the brief of high fashion? Probably not. Definitely not. But I didn't think it was that bad. Now this, cats. I said it. Y'all know I did not know this is bag. This is a bag for me. I didn't like. It looked like she look a bird. She's like a bird, and it's just the chaps are two different sizes. No, it's not. It's just where she's standing. I don't like this. It looks like she got hairy legs, like she got stuff coming out of her clothes. Like, it's not. These ruffles don't do it for me. I think it would have been so much better if she would have just took the ruffles off and used that fabric if she wanted. If she just had to use that fabric as a trim, but like that bodysuit with no without these ruffles would have ate so bad. Like she would have walked down and you'd be like, with them boots, I'm like, oh, she is cunty, mama. But no, she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She went with those ruffles and oof. No, that's a bag for me. Leland. This is a drag outfit. This is something like I don't even know what the category would be on Drag Race. But is it made bad? No, it's made great. I just don't like it. This is the first outfit from Leland, and I'm like, ooh, I don't really like it. Not because boots are cunts. The boots are great. I don't know. I don't know what I don't like, but I don't like the bubble skirt, the blue in there, the feathers. It's just a lot going on, and it's not high. It's not giving high fashion. It's giving fashion, but it's not giving high fashion. But if you saw this on a queen on a runway somewhere, you were like, yes, mama. And maybe it's the white tights underneath it. Maybe if it was just went, put the thing, not no tights. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we should have saw a little skin on them legs, between the legs and the skirt. I don't know. Man, no, I'm not. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And Charles. So okay, I thought the top of this was great from the waist up, and I love the colors and the pink but those pants, no, no. I don't like the pants. They look like bloomers, and I don't like bloomers. I don't like it. I wish he would have maybe made, if he wanted to do that, maybe a hot pant, like a short shorts with that would have been cute. I mean, he was trying to steer away from the boudoir because those shoes scream boudoir, and he didn't want to do boudoir. But I fear like a hot pants in that blue would have been really much. A short hot would have been so good in that. But those pants didn't do it for me. They ain't. I mean, it's not a bad look. Like from the that top piece, that top corset with this going on in the face, love, love. The train, I like. The blue pants? No, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. It just didn't do it for me. But it's still tea, just a mild tea, like lukewarm tea. But we do get the results. Um, Charles and Curtis are called safe. Um, they pull out the people's outfits that they liked, which was Maya and Foster was our top two this week. And I could agree to that. I can agree with that. Those were definitely. I probably would have had a top three, and I probably would have had Curtis in the top three. You go have a top three. It would have been Curtis because I thought it was really good. Um, that leaving our bottom three of Leland, Kat, and Rome. And I agree with that. I definitely can understand that and agree with how that was. The winner this week was Foster. I was happy for Foster. He'd been wanting to win so bad, and he hadn't been close to get even close. Hadn't gotten his win yet, so happy for Foster. I maybe would have given it to Maya if she would have put color in it, more color in it. But I, either one, I would have been okay with. Um, which then leaves our bottom three. And Leland was called, said he was in, so he went, which came down to Cat and Rome. And I'm like, oof. I was nervous for Rome the entire episode. I'm like, oh, I'm nervous for Rome. Something about it. And they kept giving him backstory and a lot of story. I'm like, a lot of screen time. I feel nervous for Rome. And they were saying how both looks did not give them what they wanted, and so eliminated was both of them. And I was like, "Ooh, not Cat and Rome." Oh, if I had to pick between the two, I would have saved Rome because I just didn't like cats at all. But I could get it. I get it. I get it because Rome's was not great either. It didn't hit the brief of high fashion, and cats you just didn't even see the inspiration and those ruffles. Man, those ruffles was rough. They were rough, but I did not expect them to send both of them home, and I'm sad about that. I didn't want to see Rome go home. Rome was one of my favorites in this episode, in this series, in this season, and so seeing Rome go home, I'm like, sad. Very, very sad. Very sad. Happy that Leland is safe because I feel like this one bad week should not send him home because he's been doing some really stellar things. But I also felt Rome was doing really well in this competition too. And but in the end, they both went home. And I was sad. But que sera, sera. You win some, you lose some. It is what it is. And I'm I'm just sad about it, but we're gonna keep it moving and keep it going, and we'll be back next week talking episode 7 of Project Runway Canada. Who's gonna go home now? We're getting down to the wire, so I'm excited to see who's going to win this. Um, how is this gonna go work? I'm excited. I'm excited, but we'll be back here next week to talk about it. So if you enjoy this content, please subscribe and follow and share and do all the things and give us a thumbs up in the we love thumbs ups in the on the videos. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. Follow us on this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and where you can get your merch at lanag'screations.etsy.com. And we're going to get out of here because we got things to do. So I appreciate you joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Cheers, everybody. Bye.